What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back, and it's already week 11 here in the NFL season. We got our special guest, Ty, who you guys may know on the channel from our college, doing all our college football and college basketball content. If you don't really know too much about him, make sure you go check that out. But this week, we're going to be doing NFL picks. And Ethan, let's talk about your friend AJ. AJ, come in the picture, man.
Geez. I
Uh,
don't know. Hey, guys. I'm back.
what do you have to say about last week?
Look, just a bad week in general. I mean, we all just have our ups and downs, and it was just a down for me. So, I mean, that.
Hopefully Ty can beat it this week.
I hope
Yeah. But Ethan, it looks like I got one on you last week, and I'm two back from you. So that $20 still on the line. But then AJ, that brings us to the guest picks, and Jerry, that strong week 2 performance, still leading the way. And then after AJ's horrific performance last week, he is in dead last, unfortunately. So Ty, that's what you got to beat. Pretty much if you can get 500, you're set. You're not in last.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have a new picture there next week. I'm confident.
Whoa,
Hey, the confidence.
Big
On
guy.
my shot.
Yeah. Before we get into those picks, we got the Rams and the Broncos on a bye, and I think it's a much needed bye for the Rams. As they started to, last week you could really tell that they were getting out of sync, dealing with injuries and cuts and new additions in OBJ. And then the Broncos, pretty solid team at 5-5.
But yeah, coming off a loss to the Eagles, though, it's a good time for a bye week for them as well. So let's get into these games. For tonight's game, it's a clean sweep for the Patriots. I could speak for all of us. I think the Patriots are just they're gonna boss them around on the offensive line in the trenches. That's why I'm picking the Patriots. Big running game this week as well. So what about you guys, man? What's the reason?
28-3 jokes aside, I think the Patriots looked really good last week. I think they're really up and coming, and they're coming for the AFC East. So I think they dominate this game and cover the spread.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And I think something worth noting is 150-50 in their 4-game win streak is how they've outscored opponents. That's pretty much every 3-1. That's a 3-1 ratio there. And Mac Jones is definitely a top candidate for Rookie of the Year right now. He's definitely impressed all of us so far through these 10 games. And I expect him to have another good game tonight. And moving right into our first Sunday game, Ty and I, it looks like we're going with Bills, but Ethan, I don't know if it's really much of an upset, but it's definitely a surprise pick.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. I just think with Jonathan Taylor, the rushing attack's going to be on. Carson Wentz has actually improved a lot from the beginning of the season. and from the beginning of the season, they had a bad start, but back to 5-5. So I feel like this is a big game for them for their playoff hopes.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts just seem like they're a good team this year, but it seems like they haven't really been able to pull it out against a good team like the Bills. Obviously, they lost to the Titans twice. So I think they covered the 7-point spread, but I think the Bills pull it out late here.
And then our next game, we got the Ravens and Bears. And Ethan, you were saying, it could be a trap game here for the Ravens. You want to explain that?
Usually, see the AFC North, the Ravens, when they go play an NFC team, they don't have a lot. Usually there's not a lot of film on them, stuff like that. It could be a new game. I feel like the Bears have a good matchup here, so I think they have a chance. I'm obviously taking the Ravens still, but it could be a trap game.
It'd be a rough Monday for them if they lose to the Bears after losing to the Dolphins.
Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm. But I think, obviously we're all going with the Ravens here. And I just think it's more of a, if they lose, it's kind of like, it may be like not an upset, but, definitely I feel like you can't go against them this week. And, Ty, it hurts me to see you not take the Lions here. I know that, you're a diehard Lions fan, but even I'm going with them this week, and I'm going against, my second favorite team in the Browns, and I just don't think they have anything going for them. they already ruled Hunt out. Chubbs, who knows with COVID, and then it might be Dearness Johnson show again. And then I think they're really going to have to throw this ball in this game, to beat the Lions, because the Lions have looked pretty good, honestly, on defense, these last few weeks, at least against the Steelers wise. And I just think that they're finally due for a win because they were so close last week. And, it would figure to be against the 0-16 Browns. They were the last team to do it. So I feel like karma here is going to get to the Lions and they'll finally get a win.
Yeah, I really want to pick my Lions, but I know we suck, and clearly Vegas knows we suck because Cleveland has all these injury concerns, and they're still favored by double digits here against the Lions. I think the main problem is the Lions. I mean, obviously they like to run the ball with Jared Goff at quarterback. Cleveland stops the run, so the ball is going to be in Jared Goff's hands. That's never a good thing for the Lions, so should be another low-scoring loss here.
Definitely. All right, for the next game, we're all taking the Titans in this one. They're one of the best teams in football, playing against one of the worst teams in football. It should be an ugly one. I'm taking the Titans. They should have their way.
I agree. I mean, there's nothing really much to be said about this game except, it should be pretty easy to pick here. And, bearing any upsets, I feel like we're all going to win this one. And then all right, my Packers could be a trap game here because Minnesota always plays Green Bay tough in Minnesota. But if I'm gonna bet on this game, which I probably will, I'm definitely taking that 1.5 line. I feel like that's a little low right now. The Packers' COVID concerns are all done, but I think it's due in part to Aaron Jones being out already. But it won't matter because the quad father is gonna run the ball. He's gonna tear up this Vikings defense, and Green Bay's gonna cover that 1.5.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm taking the Packers as well. It's a pretty big blow, Aaron Jones leaving, but I agree. I think AJ Dillon's gonna have a big game and probably outrush Dalvin Cook if I'm being honest. So
Packers defense is playing well, so I'm rocking with them.
Ooh, yikes. Oof. You got the ugliest game of the year so far. Dolphins and Jets, and we're all rolling with the Dolphins, which is kind of surprising just because this game is probably the biggest coin flip of the year. I don't even know what to talk about in this game, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. It's going to be all I know is I'm definitely turning it on this week and watching it the whole time.
Yeah.
Whole game.
I'm sure.
We're playing for draft position here, but I could see us losing this since we all took the Dolphins. That just seems to be how it goes. But I don't know why the Jets are not rolling with Mike White. I feel like he's played pretty well. And now we're going to roll Joe Flacco out there. He's about 40 years old. So can't really pick the Jets here.
Next game, Saints and Eagles. Since I'm the lone wolf, I'm taking the Eagles in this one. I think coming off of last week, that big win against the Broncos, kind of a blowout. I believe it was 30-13. I just think if they can put together some good football and get that record back up to near 500, they'll have a shot in that NFC last wild card spot. And I think they got the talent with Jalen Hurts, and they have a shot to win this game this week for sure.
I mean, I can definitely see that, but I think the Saints played pretty well without Kamara last week against one of the best teams in the football league. And they almost pulled that victory out, and now they're going in Philly. And with Kamara back, I just don't see how they lose this game. And Trevor Simeon's been playing really well. So I just, expect the Saints team to keep it rolling and, keep staying in that playoff line and, even in the divisional race now with the Bucs losing 2 in a row.
Yeah, I think quarterback injuries for the Saints aren't as big a deal as it could be for other teams because, you have Alvin Kamara you can just dump it off to, and he's going to get 30 yards. So they're not really a throw it down the field team. So I think they go in there and win the game.
And another clean sweep this week is we got the Cam Newton-led Panthers, which is great to see, going against his old head coach and Ron Rivera in the Washington football team. Definitely going to be a good game, like a good reunion game for both sides here. But I just think the Panthers, with CMC healthy finally, I mean, it's just hard to bet against CMC and what he can do every game. And, back with Cam Newton and CMC back together was a deadly combo. So I just expect them to, keep it rolling and, potentially lock up a playoff spot here if they get on a hot streak in these next few weeks.
Yep, I'm with you.
Yeah, Panthers are just a more motivated team right now, I think.
Another clean sweep. 49ers came off a good win against the Rams last week on Monday Night Football. Jimmy G's finally playing a little bit better. Elijah Mitchell's been a really good running back for them with all their injuries. So I'm taking the Niners, just a better team, and I think they should cover that 6-point spread as well.
Yeah, the only thing that worries me is they're coming off a huge win over the Rams. Jags are playing better. It's a home game for the Jags, but I just think 49ers have kind of found themselves here at the middle of the season, so they should stay hot.
Then our first 4:00 game, we got the Bengals and the Raiders. And, I take back the coin flip game for the Jets Dolphins. I think this is the biggest one. I was watching ESPN today, and the bottom ticker, it said the Bengals are favored here, but FPI projected the Raiders to win. I don't know how that works. But that just shows that they really don't know who's going to win this game. But we're obviously all rolling with the Bengals here. And I just think that the Bengals have more weapons and not drama to that team. And they're also coming off a bye as well. So I think that's most of the part and reason why we're all going with the Bengals here.
Yep.
Pretty much.
All right. So now the game of the week, Cowboys Chiefs. I'm the only one going with the Cowboys here. Now, it's a coin flip as well. I could definitely go Chiefs at home, but I'm going with the Cowboys. They've been playing really good all year, and I think this is their time to show on national television that they're legit. And I think they're going to do it this week.
Yeah, I'm just on the Chiefs are back train right now, so I think they stay hot here. They just went into Vegas last week and blew them out, so obviously Dallas played well last week, but I look for the Chiefs to stay hot and kind of get back into the driver's seat of the AFC West.
I'm with you there. I really haven't seen too much panic in the Chiefs because I think it was more just overreactions, through the first 6 games. Oh, they're not the same Chiefs. Well, here they are still at 6-4 with a winning record and winning the division just like everyone thought they would be at this point in the year. And, another win here against a really good Cowboys team will just solidify that the Chiefs, aren't back, but they're still the same team. And they're, coming up on the playoffs, definitely going to be a team to watch out for. And I guess I'll just lead this one as well as you get the 8-2 Cardinals without Kyler Murray and also out without Colt McCoy. Don't remember who was starting for him. Doesn't matter. And D-Hop, I don't even think he's going to play. Doesn't matter. So moral of the story is James Conner is going to have 3 TDs and win an ugly bloodbath game in the trenches. That's why I think that's the only reason the Cardinals have, because I know their defense is pretty solid. And I think they can slow down Rush just like the Packers did last week.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with the Seahawks. And the only reason I say I'm going with the Seahawks is just because of Russell Wilson. Their roster's not nearly as good as the Cardinals. It's just that the Cardinals have a lot of quarterbacks injured, Kyler and Colt McCoy, and playing some random undrafted guy, I think against Russell Wilson, the better quarterback should win the game at home. So that's why I'm going with the Seahawks.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Seahawks are just a proud organization, and I don't think they're just going to roll over and give up on this season. So I think they get a win here and at least get back in the hunt for the playoffs. So I think Wilson will bounce back this week.
And Ethan, not taking your Steelers here after last week's performance, I can understand why. But they also have big injury concerns. Big Ben still is out due to COVID, I believe.
Minka.
And then half the defense, it seems like is out as well. So I think that's, a big reason why we're all going with the Chargers here. And I think it's Herbert. Herbert's been having a really good and quiet year. And I expect, Keenan Allen to have another monster game. But I think the Chargers, it's just kind of too obvious to not take the Chargers here.
Yeah, I'm with you. If the Steelers were full, I'd be going with the Steelers as well. But now they got injury problems and COVID problems, so I got to go with the Chargers here and try to win $20 at the end of the year.
Yeah, the Steelers had to play Rudolph last week, and they tied the Lions. That's about all you need to know.
Yeah,
Rudolph's just not very good. That's the bottom line.
Exactly.
Man, our last game of the week. Obviously we're all going with the Bucs here. There's no way they lose 3 straight on Monday night. At home to, a pretty, not good Giants team. But the record can be deceiving for the Giants though, as they've lost, I believe, 4 or 5 games within 6 points. So, the Giants could be, a 500 or better team, but I just can never bet against Tom Brady. I've already learned my lesson in the 28-3 Super Bowl. I was like, this one's over. And, I learned my lesson there, and I've never bet against Brady. So, I can't do it now.
Yep, I'm with you there. It might be a little bit closer than you'd think because off your point, the Giants do play close football. But at the end of the day, I'm not betting against Brady either. That's why I'm going with the Bucs.
Yeah, I'm taking the Giants to cover here, but they just don't really pull out these close games at all this year. But 11 points is a lot in a primetime game. I've learned my lesson there, so I'm taking the Giants on the spread.
And that's all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thanks, Ty, for joining us. Hopefully you get a good record this week and maybe, like you said, join the top of the leaderboards over Jerry. But
I'm doing 13-3.
Hey, until next time, Bench Buddies are out. Peace.
She never called back.